Hey guys, welcome back to the second video in the Challenging Eye series. Not to say that I have the most challenging eyes on the planet, but they are smaller, downturned, kind of deep set, and slightly hooded. And I think all of us face, or most of us face, this kind of a challenge or some semblance of one or all of those. And I've been working with mine for many years and just wanted to share some of the techniques for shadows and lining that I have been using with you guys. And today I'm gonna just put on some easy, quick shadow that I use for work, and I'm gonna be using pencil liner today because the first one I used shadow. I'm going to be using what's left of my sad little Urban Decay Demolition liner because I love this. It's just kind of a, I don't know, a dark grayed brown. It's not quite black. I think black is a little bit harsh for me sometimes, but you know, this is not going to be a wing today. I kind of wish I had done this video first because I feel like a lot of people are very comfortable using a pencil, even though I do find that once you start using shadow with a brush, it becomes very comfortable. It's a lot more precise and easy to use, but you do have to get a little bit comfortable with using it. I wanted to look at you guys just head on and show you without any makeup right up front that if you look at my eyes, you see that there is this downturn with this upper eyelid and with the curve of my socket. So if you look at that, what I'm going to do today without doing a wing is change where this point is with the illusion of liner. So it's just going to be kind of creating the illusion that the point of this eye is just a little bit raised. So it's not quite a wing, it's just an uplift with liner. And I'm going to be doing a very quick application of eyeshadow. So we can get started. I'm going to be using my Too Faced Naturalized palette because I love this palette and it is just a staple for me. And my transition shade is going to be Nudie, which is this shade right here. And I'm using my Sigma E40. This is a brush that I use for my transition shade a lot. So this is going to get really repetitive because every video I'm going to tell you guys to relax your brow when you're first getting that initial placement and look straight into your mirror. It's going to look like I'm looking down because my mirror is a little bit below where you are, but I'm actually looking straight into my mirror. And that is so that you can see the shadow, especially if you have hooded eyes because it gets lost in the crease a lot. I always use this as a guide. This lower lash line kind of going up to the corner of my brow, and I always say up into infinity, just that's kind of my guide. And I place this brush upwards at an angle so it hits kind of right there above the crease and in that area, and I'm just going to swipe in windshield wiper motions. Now you can close your eye a little bit if you want to, because now you know where it's going to be placed. You can use swirly motions. It can be kind of messy. It doesn't really matter. This is just going to ensure that you get some color on that hood, and it can go almost all the way up to the brow bone because we're going to put a highlighter there. So that's what I'm doing right now. And it can get in the crease. Doesn't matter. And I'm using a cream shadow on the lid today. Someone was asking me, because I use Giorgio Armani eye tint and cold copper all the time, but I also have gold ashes, and someone asked me if I could please use gold ashes. So I'm going to use that today, but you can use a cream shadow, a liquid shadow, or anything on the lid here. It doesn't matter. Okay, so transition shade is done, and if it gets a little bit below that line, that's okay. We can kind of clean that up in a little bit, but looking straight ahead at you, I think I'm looking straight ahead at you. You can see there's a nice shadow here, whereas this still looks kind of sleepy, I guess. So now I'm taking my eye tint in cold copper. Again, you can use any cream shadow, and I'm taking my Real Techniques shading brush. This is just what I use to blend it in, and I'm just taking it, and you can use your finger if you're using a cream shadow, and I'm just going to put this on the lid all over. Kind of messy, doesn't matter. And this I find is a little bit thinner than cold copper, so I may need to do 2 layers, but I may not. And I'm just going to kind of tap it in. I find that this particular formulation, the eye tints, they give you plenty of time to work with them. So I tap that in, and then to get it blended in to the transition shadow, I just blend it. I'm going to go ahead and just take this Morphe M508 and run that same nudie shade along the lower lash line and connect it right here. Because you could just leave a lid shade and a transition shade. That's the beauty of using a transition shade, is that that's all you really need to do. And there are plenty of days where I have just kind of left well enough alone and gone with a really light lid shade to lighten up the eye, and a transition shade and highlight the brow bone and inner corner, and I'm done. So let's go a little out of order today just to see if that's all I want to do. And I'm going to use this Heaven shade right here and use that on my brow bone. And again, if you have hooded eyes, you want to make sure just to use it right on the brow bone. You can tap it or just do a little bitty line right there, and then we're going to blend it. And on the inner corner, just slightly. And you can clean off the same brush and just blend it really quickly. Sometimes I find that's easier and quicker on work mornings. This is a little bit light for a lid shade for me personally. I'm gonna just put something here in the crease and outer corner very quickly with a big fluffy brush. So I'm gonna use MAC 217 and put Cashmere Bunny just right there and swirl it. So when you're looking straight ahead, again, we're working with this angle right here, and you want color all along this. It's almost a 7, going straight across where your socket stops and down here, because that's going to give you lift. So where you want the most colors, where you want to place your brush first. So look straight into your mirror, place your brush there, and then go to town. Then you can kind of close your eye. And I don't want just a whole ton of color. I just want to kind of darken up this outer corner. Nothing precise. I'm not doing anything precise like a sharp outer V or anything. I'm just going very hazy today. Again, this is an easy eye look. And you could almost get away with just doing this and not blending, but I'll probably blend it a little bit. So what you can do is take that light shade Heaven that we highlighted the brow bone with. If you feel like you've gone kind of too far out of this area, and kind of just run it along there and then blend it in, and that will lighten it up a little bit and give you a little lift. And we're gonna blend a little tiny bit and then get to liner. So I just kind of have kind of a hazy look with a pop of brightness on the eye today. That's all I really wanted going on. It's very blended and hazy, and that's it. Because that nudie and that Cashmere Bunny are very similar, just kind of a shade down from each other. Okay, so now for the liner. Okay, so I always do my little wing part first, because I find, especially with downturned eyes, and if you have little creases that go here like I do, okay, I'm looking straight forward at you, and if you can see, I have little folds that kind of go down this way. Can you see that? If I line this top line first, sometimes I can go a little too far down this way, and then I have to clean up. I don't have time to deal with that a lot. So I like to go up from this outer lash line like I'm continuing up. It's just a continuous line. I rest my pinky kind of on my cheekbone. Again, brows are relaxed. Look straight into my mirror. I'm going to draw this little point. Just extend this line before my crease gets there. Like I said, we're not doing a wing. I'm literally almost drawing it on like a crayon, but I don't want it to hit where my socket and my eyeball fold. So do you see that line that I have there now? And you can darken it a little bit. Now it almost does look like a wing. Look how long that looks when I close my eye. But when I open my eye, it doesn't look long at all. And there is a little gap there because my eye was open when I did it, so just fill that in. And now I'm going to do my lash line and just get as close to my lash line as I can. If you tight line, go ahead and do that too. And I do like to close my eyes for this part just so I can get close to my lash line. Just kind of smudge it in. I'm not too fanatical about that. So now you have this kind of funky looking little line. And I just literally kind of build it up from there. You can draw a line if you want. I find I don't have to be as precise if I don't do that. For this particular technique, if I just build it up from the bottom, like so, and see that gets a little like that, and then when my eyes open, I just kind of even it out. So when my eyes close, it looks like a wing, right? But when it's open, and I'm going to smudge this a little bit, when it's open, it doesn't. And it's going to look more completed once there's mascara on. But when it's open, because of how my eye shape is, it does not really look like a wing. It just looks like I have made this point that was a little bit down, now looks more lifted. What I also like to do is smudge it a little bit sometimes, so it just makes the line a little bit more even. So like here, I'll take it and just kind of, and plus if you have kind of a shaky hand, smudging it helps a little bit too. And you don't have to do this, this is totally optional. And you'll find on most of these that I do, I'll kind of talk you through this and it may go a little slow, and then I'll do the second eye and it'll be a little faster. But this is a very, very subtle eye look. It's not a big wing, it's something you can do every day. And see how that made it much softer? That is not a dramatic look at all, especially when I'm looking at you straight on. Not a big wing, but it does uplift that eye. Just a little trick. And I'll do the side very, very quickly. And you do also want to kind of look back and forth to make sure your angles are right, especially if your eyes are a little bit uneven like mine. Extending this line just a tad. If you want to go down and do it or up and do it, you can do either. My skin's kind of loose there, so I don't know, I find going towards the eyes a little bit better. Okay, so see there, and my line's kind of faint, so now I'm going to darken it. And lash line. So if you're not talking and chatting during it, it might take just 30 seconds once you get the hang of it. So that's it, and you can see the eyes are more lifted than when I started, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like with mascara on. So this is the final eye look after applying mascara, and I did use Tarte Light Camera Lashes mascara. It's a little bit dried out, but I think I made it work. And if you are someone who is not curling your lashes, I do encourage you to do that if you do have downturned, deep set, small hooded eyes, because it does make a big difference in how wide awake and big and uplifted your eyes look. And if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you do know that I prefer to use shadow over eyeliner to line my eyes. And I'm always reminded of that after I curl my lashes, because it seems like no matter what the formulation of the pencil is, a little bit is wiped away from the lash curler for some reason, and I do always have to replace a little bit of the pencil after I'm finished curling my lashes. So if that is happening to you, you are not alone. Just take your pencil and go over where you already lined and it'll be all remedied. So I think that this look is easy to do. It's simple. It makes a big difference in how your eyes look in terms of being a little bit bigger, more lifted, awake, and upturned just by changing the illusion of where that outer point is on your eye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I will put my social media on the screen and the links are in the description box below. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.